Welcome back to the 9PL podcast. We have another team entry today, the Rugby League Players Association. This is red hot. Very excited to have you on, Mr. Tommy Symonds.
Thanks, mate. Very happy to be here.
Keegan Hipgrave.
Thank you, brother. Pumped to be here.
So, boys, tell us, and for the mad punter, what is the RLPA?
So, for those who aren't across it, the RLPA, we're the representative body of the professional rugby league players in Australia. In New Zealand, we represent NRL and NRLW players, essentially advocate for their best interests, push hard for player rights, improvements to their terms and conditions. We certainly feel like that's for the benefit of everyone. If you've got strong player rights, then the on-field product is good, hopefully bringing in more revenue for the game. But generally speaking, player-led organisation, player-funded, allows us to really push hard for what's in the best interests of players.
Great.
You said that very well, brother.
Yeah,
you said that very well.
How about that? I did ask him to do an elevator pitch and he's nailed it.
Pulled it out of the back pocket.
Yeah. I saw this.
Well rehearsed.
What are your roles there? So, Kiggs, you're new now to the RLPA.
I'm fresh. Yeah. I jumped on probably just before Christmas. So cool. I'm a past player entry and just transition manager. So we'll be working with players transitioning out of the game and then also retired as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And that was your old role, Tom?
So my old role was in player operations, so more working with the current players. Okay. Last year we had a new agreement with the NRL that came out, and one of the things we pushed hard for was more investment in past players and retiring players, those on their way out of the game. It's a really strong focus for the current playing group to look after those that have come before. So, yeah, we managed to set up a few new funds, one of them being a past player and transition program. So I've now moved over to there and leading that team. We've brought on Keegan, obviously, and big Joey Nullivar, who's
one of the great men, Joey Nullivar.
One of the greats.
Absolute legend, obviously super respected, had a great playing career, but since playing, he's done some really awesome things. A few clubs amongst the NRL community, so we're stoked to have him as part of the team too.
Yeah, big time. And he, I honestly couldn't find a bad word to say about Joe Nullivar. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's very similar with a much junior person in Keegan coming into this role as well. A lot of people have huge raps to say about you, mate. So the organisation itself clearly trying to attract the right people to assist our players in transitioning, right? Men's and women's, which is brilliant.
It's probably a good sign of where we're at as an association. With Keegs and Joe, both great people, but obviously really well qualified, passionate about the space. So to get them both in the mix, we're really pumped about, and I think a really good dynamic between the two of them. Like you said, Keegs is bringing that fresh energy, young views, and Joey's experience and respect is...
and a moustache to die for.
Likewise, brother.
Trying.
That was my favourite thing about coming into the RLPA was working with crew who have the players' best interests at heart.
Yeah.
Like talking to Joey, talking to Tommy, even talking to everyone in the organisation before coming on board and even outside the organisation, everyone there, they want the best thing for the players.
Yeah.
So, and having Joe on board and working close with Tommy now back on the Gold Coast, which we love, it's really fun and it's really exciting and it's cool to talk about and build out the new initiatives that we're going to be rolling out.
Is that what made you interested in entering this? With, I suppose, this new program, the right amount of resources now.
For sure.
Could you elaborate a bit on that? Is that what broke the camel's back, so to speak?
Outside of you pestering me to enter a team.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, that's a massive part of it. There's no secret. I mean, with our new launch of the Past Play and Transition program coming up within the next few weeks, we thought that entering a team into the tournament is a really, really cool opportunity for us to bring a bunch of players back together, to connect, but also gives us a good opportunity to connect with that group and talk about the new program, explain some of the new initiatives, and really host a few things in and around the weekend that allows us to get our new program off to a good start, I suppose.
Okay. Well, before we dive further into that, I want to know about the team. So, who's your coach? Have we got a coach? Is Keegs?
I'm definitely not
because you're most relevant, most recently played. You'd be most experienced, I suppose.
Coach, to be decided. I'll definitely be running water, so the boys will be well hydrated. I think I'll have some nice little oranges as well, so they'll be well hydrated. But in terms of the team, we want to keep it local. The competition is obviously on the Gold Coast, so we're recruiting a lot of obviously old past players. So from the previous Brisbane Broncos, we've got Big Benny Hannett.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Give us a name drop.
We'll
This is what we're
drop
after.
a couple. Guys who obviously I looked up and respected before I was even playing, and then was lucky enough to get to play with and train with a few of them. So Benny Hannett, Josh Maguire, who's going to bring a bit
The
of
big show.
Big show, Moosey. So he's going to bring a bit of mug rule as well, which will be cool. But also another big ball playing forward, Sammy Thaiday.
Jesus. Okay.
Ball playing forwards, which will be, I think it'll be good. Like, quick play the balls. We'll get on the front foot. Just hopefully they don't get out the back of us.
Go forward and tackle tech's probably right up there. Speed, lateral agility.
Oh, mate, yeah,
he may struggle.
Yeah.
We've got a few others. So.
We do have a few others in the outside backs. Local recruits. Previous board member Dale Copley,
Yep.
Oh, great.
one of the all-time great men. Mitchy Rain, providing a lot of skill, and Mitchy's still got a bit of speed up his alley as well.
He had a big career, Mitch Rain.
Huge.
Like, he had an enormous career.
Can we air that for a second? Mitch Rain's career. He played for 15 years or something, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, very
I
underrated.
played 20s against him, and then he played forever. like literally just didn't stop.
He's just finished up. So this is a great opportunity.
Great example of your
That's
transition
right.
player.
So
Okay.
Mitchy obviously moving into his next chapter, setting up his next career. This is a cool opportunity for him to stay connected to other players, to the game, and obviously have a good time as well. But yeah, we're stoked to have him in the mix.
And that's the beauty of it. You've got guys who retired, 5, 6, 7 years ago, but also guys like Mitch and myself who've just been out of the game for a year, 2 years.
Would you have a look at someone like McQueen having a run with his?
Chris McQueen's locked in as well.
No way.
Yeah, we've locked him in. Yeah. He's filled out the form and he's good to go.
Yeah,
Straight off the plane into the RLPA side.
Exactly right. Chris McQueen, talking about good careers, hasn't he done everything in the game?
He did
Chris
it all.
McQueen,
Yeah.
champion fella, just finished up a second part of his career in England too, where he killed it.
Yeah.
Scored tries for fun.
Yeah.
So we're getting him back in the mix. He obviously brings some level of ability to us when we're probably struggling for a few recent retirees. So he will be a cracker for us. And again, he's an opportunity, someone who's moved out of the NRL, gone overseas to Super League, coming back to the Goldie, setting up his next chapter.
Yeah.
Here's a cool opportunity to connect, talk to other guys, not just about footy, but what are you doing next? What's worked well for you?
Yeah.
So we're really stoked to have him in the mix too.
I think that what we're finding as well with the teams that are entering, and it's super exciting because you're highlighting that within the players that you're recruiting, but you've got blokes like Alex Glenn who own a gym, has a brand, huge in the community, still gives back a lot, loves playing touch 7 nights a week if he can possibly fit in a game. And then you've got Geordie Carr, who's doing digital shooting, has his own brand, joining up with Alex. You got Matty Shrama entering in his buyers agency group. So I think I suppose the whole vibe and the gist of it is what you're seeing as well. And I think that the game's in such a safe place with the mindsets of where you guys are leading this as well. Because, I mean, it's only started to come, I suppose, with the use of social media and podcasting and all that's been a little bit more prevalent in most recent years, and people have seen blokes like Isaac, John, and the like build these huge brands, whereas you're bringing lads back to be part of this as well. And I think you'll end up having players who've probably been retired for over 10 years come back and who have almost felt forgotten.
Definitely.
And they're going to feel like they're back part of this community that gave them so much. So
Sure.
it's so well done.
Well, there you go. Well, I was going to say that's the beauty of like this event here, because we've got guys who, like I said, they're in our team, but they've also got guys like Alex Glenn and Geordie Carr
That's right,
and
yeah.
Matty Shrama. So it's a great way for us to bring the whole NRL and rugby league community together, whether they're just recently retired or whether they've been retired for a couple of years. So having guys like Lexi and Kahu and Matty Shrama have their own teams, it actually enhances the quality of the competition, and it'll be great bands to play against each other.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we ran some numbers and I shot them through to Tommy actually this morning. 20% of the registered players are ex-NRL boys.
Huge.
So
There you
it's
go.
great, and
Set
it's
up well.
and it's bec- and the fun thing I'm finding is that the boys are doing it on their own terms. They're coming back because they want to play with some mates and they want to be around something exciting. And clearly, with the recruitment strategy that you guys are doing, you're just looking for ball-playing middles, clearly. But you're looking for blokes that want to get back involved with the community that brought them so much as well. So, as we're all aware, mental health's a huge thing, and league is a good and a bad thing for people. It
Yeah,
can
totally.
be, But I think that, tournaments like this, people like yourselves that are bringing blokes back together, is key. And I mean, you were mentioning as part of our live draw on the Thursday night, there's going to be an RLPA launch.
Yeah, so I mean, we've got synergy with the Nine tournament itself with the new program. Obviously, we touched on some of the great stories from some of those who have been really successful out of the game and connecting, newly retired players with them to maybe be inspired, get some direction. There's also some stories of players who maybe took a few years and struggled or tried out a few things, and that's absolutely normal too. I could definitely put my hand up and say I didn't quite nail it straight away either. So we've got a pretty diverse mix of players. But yeah, so touching on the Thursday night before tournament kickoff, we thought what a great opportunity with so many players playing in the tournament, but also players who aren't playing who are just local or up in the southeast Queensland region. Bring them all together, first connection event of the new program. We're really pumped about it. We've got a pretty awesome special guest, Mick Fanning, joining us. So we're starting off pretty well on we're setting a high bar, but the launch itself, obviously, get some people together. We know that connection is going to be a big pillar of our program moving forward. Obviously, people's transition and jobs and medical is all important, but connection is massive. So for us, connection is going to be a big pillar of the program. What a way to kick it off.
Big time.
Gold Coast, summer, Mick Fanning, a great crew of people getting together, both NRL and NRLW players in the mix. Yep. We're really pumped about that event.
And that's the thing, like transitioning out of the game, as both you guys would know, like it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter if you're on $1 million a season or if you're just top 30 development list. Like it's always going to be hard with physically, mentally, identity, the whole thing. Yep. So bringing those crew together, sharing stories, leaning on each other, and then having guys like Mick, who has done the transition as well, talking about it from a different third-party surfing point of view.
Yeah,
like, I'm a fan. I'm a huge surfing fan. When we locked in Mick, I was like, I was coming, but now I was already amped, but I'm pumped now.
Yeah,
so it's going to be sick.
Shout out Joey Nullabout too. That's Penrith Connection hooking us up.
Oh,
there.
That's a very early heavy lift in the RLPA for Joe.
He's doing very well. He's off the bench and providing the goods. I'd hope that he'd take a place in the team, but yes, getting Mick on board, that's a massive win for us.
Big time. Well, so Thursday night time?
Yeah, so talking Thursday night, obviously all welcome, whether you're a current player or former, exclusive RLPA event, obviously at Bolter, at Currumbin there, so great location. The 9PL broader launch obviously follows straight after, so get on down. We'll be kicking off from 5. We'll be setting up from 4, so feel free to roll on through.
There'll be a few crew getting in there a bit earlier. I think it's a beautiful establishment, Bolter Brewing.
That's right. It is. You can't beat it.
Plenty of taps there.
I dare say if you'll be attracted to come on down. But yeah, we're pumped. Like we really want to make it a really special event. In and out on the night, so it's not going to drag on. But we're gonna make it a good launch, and obviously over the course of the weekend, not just those who are playing in the team, but anyone else who wants to get around and connect will be really keen to see him.
Yeah, excellent. I think there's an overview. We've got a 5 o'clock start till 6. Mick Fanning headlining, which is just ridiculous. I mean, honestly, I can't believe that's actually happening. Open to NRLW, NRL past transition players. Current players, can they poke down as well if any of the boys are around there?
Yeah, there'll be a few of the boys, like a lot of the Bronx boys and Titans boys are obviously local, so they'll be coming down and any excuse to
chuck them on a list.
We'll try and
try and squeeze you on, boys.
If we could, we would. If we could, we would. Yeah.
It's probably one of the cool things about the RLPA in recent years, having been able to run a few events, but also our conference that we hold each year, Leaders in League. We've managed to start bringing players together from other teams,
awesome.
Whether they're retired or current, and it's starting to build a real community atmosphere. And obviously, the last couple of years was fairly frosty at times, but what it did was unite the playing group.
Yeah.
And so there's that real camaraderie amongst the group. So again, when we're holding connection events, you're getting people that may not have met or have connected at certain RLPA events. We find that that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, I've had a couple. Crum and Vikings have done one. Did one in Brisbane, I think, with I forgot what the pub's called, but it's been awesome. Like everyone's been super inviting, and I think blokes go, oh, now I remember why I like being around this crowd of people. I love talking rubbish like me, sitting around having a feed and generally just enjoying each other's company. So, no, that'll be excellent. We'll be opening the gates up from 6 for dinner for the broader crowd as well, for the most, highly anticipated live draw you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
From 6:30.
What time are games kicking off on the Friday?
8 o'clock is the first game.
Right.
So you won't know if you're playing at 8 in round 1 or 11 o'clock.
Mm.
You
So
got to be at the live draw.
Late
Watch the
logistics.
YouTube. Yeah, so that'll be it'll be a good evening on the Thursday night. Obviously, we've got the Friday and the Saturday the carnival, so it should be pretty handy. But lads, any final words to get across before we see you in a fortnight at Mick Fanning's festival?
What have we got? Do we want to have a call out for anyone else? Look, probably worth mentioning, we do have a couple of spots that we've held to this last point in our recruitment campaign, should I say. A couple of weeks to go until the tournament, obviously. As I said, we've held a few last spots for those who might be interested.
There's a few whispers getting around as well, Tommy.
There is. Talk us through them.
There's one whisper that's getting around, and we can't confirm it just yet, but there could be a little sniff of Mr. Clint Newton getting around, the CEO of the RLPA.
Yeah, right.
Jumping on board. So we won't fully air it just yet,
Yep.
but there's a few whispers getting around.
That's right. So, I mean, in all seriousness, maybe he jumps on, shows how much he cares about this program and how important it is.
Yeah,
to
does he
RLPA.
care about the community?
if he
Like,
cares-
'cause if he cares about the community, he'd play.
If he cares, he plays.
No,
If he cares,
I don't want to put the wood in him.
But to be fair, there's a couple more spots. If there's a couple of players that think, hang on, you know what? I've been waiting for my moment to connect.
Yeah, this is
to
it.
get back amongst it.
I've got 4 days.
This
Great.
is the time. This is the time to jump on board. We have held a couple of spots. Hit us up. We're keen.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, I'll make sure I clip that and send it out as well. Register your interest. I don't know. We might even have a wild card.
I have
for
a question. Yeah.
yeah.
So you've obviously been hosting, Ant, and welcoming teams as they come through and confirm. Is it true you're having a run around in this tournament as well?
Mate, I'll be running here and there. Broadcast, sponsorship.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, have you got a spot? Have you?
Well, another rumour.
There's a lot of whispers
There's
getting around.
rumours that you are going to strap on and put the RLPA jersey on and run around, lead from the front, show how much you care and supporting the RLPA.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
I'll quickly hop out of the commentary box to race down and run on for the RLPA any day of the
Good
week.
man, I
So
love
I'll register tonight.
Love that.
I hope to God that people start registering so I can come out of that 18. But no, I'll sign up. I'll sign up for the RLPA.
Good man, love that.
So thanks for forcing me into that, fellas. Really good transition. No, thanks very much, boys. Really appreciate your time jumping in. Very excited to have you as part of it. Well done on everything as well. Congratulations on the new role, Keegs. And see you in a fortnight.
Thank you, brother.
Beauty.